Summer is in session at Icon Park. Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 6 of Summer Sessions, a Carlton Media pre-season podcast. I'm Christian Filippo, your host, and Rose Zaruki is your ever-reliable producer today. And I'm really excited that after a few weeks of getting some return guests on Summer Sessions, we've got a debutant once again for this week. We're keeping it in WA after Mott's last week. Yeah. But I'm sure that this man will give us a unique insight into the goings-on of Icon Park as only he would know. Mitch McGovern, welcome to the show.
Thank you for finally having me, mate. It's nice to have the debut.
Don't be like that, because I reckon I asked you in year one, but I think you just maybe wanted to see how the show went first before you came on here, but you're here now. Yeah,
finally made it in. I saw the progression and the growth, and I thought I might jump on now while we're sky high.
And it's all downhill from here. As obviously as a big fan of the show.
Big fan. Very
good,
big fan.
Thank you. Yeah, you'd know that this podcast starts the same way, so let's just get straight into it. What's Mitch McGovern's go-to karaoke song?
Had it as a fine last year, and it's is it Marvin Gaye? Ain't No Mountain High.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me.
So was this enforced by the Fines Master Weeders?
Weeders is a fine master, and you normally roll the dice, see what you get, whatever the number is. It's karaoke. And normally karaoke's I think 7 maybe, and none of the boys ever do it. It's always they say they'll do it, and then it's a buyout.
So have you done it?
Yeah, instantly.
Yeah, no.
I said, and like I was like, this has got to be the rules now. Where it is like, if you roll 7, you 2 minutes.
You're up.
Pick your song and do it.
No, and how'd you go?
Nailed it.
Nah.
Crowd interaction. It's a great song.
Yeah, of course.
So, and like everyone's watched Remember the Titans, the scene in the locker room, and get the vibes going. So that was fun.
Similar vibes in the rooms.
Yeah, Walsh really led the charge with the joining,
shock horror.
Yeah, with the joining karaoke. So it was good.
You sure it's not? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
It's definitely not that.
That was taken in this room, just over there.
Room. Yeah, I did. I don't know what it is. When I'm behind a camera and a microphone, I just start singing. So it's not good.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing where this can take us. But let's go to the footy chat. And if you start singing, you start singing.
Yeah, that's fine.
How's the Christmas break? All right?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
We had it's probably my favourite Christmas with the kids and with the whole family. We're up in Sunshine Coast, which is something really different for the McGovern family. So everyone flew over from WA. And we had some extended family up there that came over from America. Yeah, and it was so much fun. Like, anyone that's got kids, I would highly recommend going up north during that time. It's just, best weather, things to do.
Am I right in saying, so we obviously had the camp in the final week of last year, so you had the camp, but given you weren't going to leave Kirsten with the 3 kids, you were there, you came back, and you went back again in a few days' time.
Yeah, I got some mileage up on the frequent flyer or velocity. It was. I wasn't letting Kirsten flying with the 3 kids, near on impossible. So camp, came back, picked up the family, and then went back up there. And surprising, when we were up in the camp, we only had a day of sunshine. The whole time.
Don't tell us.
The whole time. Didn't drop below like 29 and like not a drop. It was cool.
That camp was one of the more interesting ones in torrential rain.
Yeah.
While I think it was 40 degrees down here in Melbourne.
We did laugh a little bit as players. It's like the whole idea is like to like different conditions. Like really test
well, they were
these
different.
guys out.
Just
they were.
Just like the different you were thinking of.
Yeah, and we look at the forecast in Melbourne like, I bet the boys wish we stayed back here with a challenging 40-degree day.
Well, obviously camp would set up 2025, but let's run it back to 2024 for a little bit. I dare say the highlight of last year was welcoming Addison alongside Hamish and Margot. How is life as an immediate family of 5?
Yeah, no, it's busy. And yeah, it definitely was a highlight last year for sure. You're a bit naive having 2 kids and you're going well, and then
the third comes along.
The third comes along, and it just changes everything.
Well, you're outnumbered now.
We are, and it's full zone defense, and Vossi always talks about life habits, and I'm trying to take our zone defense back home with me. So
defend the 1.5 roll, that kind of thing.
Yeah, come forward, help each other out. Yeah. But no, it's been going really good, and she's a little trooper. She's good.
And how are the other 2?
Yeah, they're good.
Yep.
Hamish is a ball of energy, and funny, like your little boy, you just see a lot of yourself in
Well, he is a McGovern, I think, is probably the feedback that is shared around here.
Yeah. Bit heavy.
That's not what I was saying.
Loves food, loves ball sports. So, he's
and
good.
loves to chat.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't stop and doesn't really speak English, a bit like me.
But he still loves to chat, though.
Still loves to chat. And then you got Margot as well, who's just, she's a little queen, so it's good.
How's the relationship between you and Zach Williams?
Yeah.
And flourished with Marco and Ayla.
Yeah, it has. We've got a close relationship, and half the time we're just talking about those two and what they get up to together and all the nonsense that they carry on by themselves, talking about what they've done together. I remember yesterday, Margot came home, they went to the zoo together, and even just then I was talking to Zach and Ayla downstairs, and she was talking about how birds was swooping them and attacking them at the zoo. Went up turning into a little 2-minute chat into about half an hour with Ayla talking about this bird and Margot and what they were getting up to. So it's cute.
I think it's Ayla's birthday on Friday as well. So
it is.
Happy birthday, Ayla. Well, I've got a piece of trivia for you.
Yes.
It's been a lot of shifting parts here at the Carlton Football Club with additional people coming in. How many babies in the playing group with recent arrivals and impending arrivals? Say, from next month, how many will we have, do you reckon? As a guess, as a round number.
Just a guess, I would say we're close to 12 now.
I think it's 16.
Is it 16?
I think so. So you've got Silvani, Williams, Cripps, McGovern, Akers, Fantasia, Doherty, Newman, Haynes, Hewitt, Sard.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Wow. And I reckon when we had Margot, or when we were... Kirst was pregnant with Margot, I reckon there might have been 1, maybe 2.
Was it the Casbolts and Murphys, I think, were the only... and Kerno.
Yeah, so when Kerno left, because I don't know if we had Margot then. Oh, no, yeah, Ed was still here.
Yeah.
So it was the Kernos, Casbolts were gone, Murphys were gone.
Yeah.
And I think it was Henry.
Of course, yeah.
And I think that was it.
Now?
It's just crazy, hey? 3.5 years or 3 years.
Well, this is a bit of a, obviously, unique insight into the Carlton Football Club that the list management team has moved from downstairs to upstairs.
Yeah.
And there's now a vacant room down there. Will you be petitioning for it to be the Carlton Crash officially?
Heavily. Lil will hate me for it because I always joke with Lil because she does an amount of work for us as a PDM. And especially the guys with kids, we rely on Lil and Shano as well.
Sullivan family, just the first family of the Carlton Football Club.
They're the first to put their hand up and say they'll help us out. And kudos to them because they're amazing with us, especially when we were on the camp, having the families back here by themselves. I know Shano came around to our house a couple of times to help Kirst out with the kids. So they've been amazing, but I will be heavily petitioning to have that down there.
What is it like when I think we've spoken about it a few times, that when you walk into the rooms now compared to when you kind of first walked into the rooms when you came here and there's just kids everywhere?
Yeah, it's as a athlete and a footy player, you're very, very fortunate to be in the position that you are and play games of footy, and especially after a win, to get in and sort of absorb that moment after a win with your teammates and sort of the broader footy community, where you are and the people that you work with. It's pretty special. But then to have your own family and kids in that environment as well makes it you think that you're happy and you think you're it's enjoyable when you're without kids, and then when you have kids and they're there, it's hard to explain the euphoria around the family, the success, the enjoyment it's doubled, I reckon. And to have the number that we just mentioned before, 16 odd. Now I'm really looking forward to seeing the energy in the bubble post-game, especially after a big win.
Well, we spoke about the highlight of 2024, which was obviously the arrival of Addison. That's number one, and that's a good number one.
Yes.
Where does meeting Kathy Freeman and Bruce Dill on the same day rank? Is that number 2?
It's easily number 2. It's almost pushing number 1. Sorry, Addison. Yeah, that was it's hard to put into words that. And the irony of just walking into the club hoping to see and meet Kathy, not even know if it was going to happen, and then to have Bruce there as a former great wearing the number that I'm wearing now, and Tim actually, and I've heard stories about Bruce, and you're not sure because obviously I'm showing my age here a little bit, but I wasn't really born when he was playing. only seen a little bit of footage about how he played, and obviously you see a lot of the
There he is.
stuff, yeah, stuff around the
And behind
club.
you as well.
Yeah, and like, yeah, the aura around him is like, especially this footy club in the four walls, is huge. But as a footy holistically as well, and for him to know who I was, say g'day, and yeah, to meet him was awesome. And then to meet Kathy as well, who's been like a childhood idol, sports idol, was yeah, on the same day. Like, I'm sorry, Addison, but yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Like, really cool.
Because there's that photo of you dressed as Catherine when during the Sydney Olympics, and then I think when we first spoke to you when you first got the number 11, you said you'd love to meet Bruce Doyle one day, and took about what five seasons or 6 seasons?
6, yeah. 6 to get it done, but
and then it all happened, and
made
that was
made it worth it though.
Yeah.
I'll take those 6 years again to meet him again.
So Catherine was coming to speak to the AFLW playing group, and you went, "It's right, I'll be there as well."
Yeah,
yeah.
I snuck my way in, got a message. I'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm meant to, but
Yeah.
I will.
And did you know Bruce was going to be around?
Nah.
Okay.
So I literally just walked in, and I reckon it might have been Shane or someone at the door. Just said, "Oh, Bruce is in." And I was just, Bruce. I was like, "Well, I've heard about Bruce Doyle."
There's only one Bruce.
There's only one Bruce. And I was like, "But I heard he just never ever comes into the club.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the social side of it." So I didn't really believe it. And then when I walked in, I was like, "Holy shit!" So this is
him.
This is him. And he was, it's just like everything about him was just like so cool. He's like got a blue top, blue tracky pants. Like he looked like just exactly like he did in all these photos. Like, you haven't aged since. Just like a bit whiter hair.
Yeah.
That's it. So that was pretty special.
Was that I guess one of the great Carlton highlights in your time here?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, to have that in the same year as Addison being born, it's cool. Good year.
Addison was a good number 2 for 2024.
Exactly.
I'll look into 2025 now, mate. It is not long at all until practice matches roll around, and that feels bizarre.
Yeah.
How is the excitement levels for 2025?
Yeah, it's that, like, we are definitely getting ready for it and excited for it, but it's just creeping up. Like, it's happened so fast. Like, and you're just in the works sort of space now in pre-season. Match sim starts to come in, and like literally 3-4 weeks away, we're into games. So, yeah, it hits you pretty fast. You're doing all the work. You're just hoping it all comes together and everyone's healthy and fine, ready to go.
Obviously, disappointing news at the end of last week. One of your fellow defenders going down. How is Newey?
Yeah, Noodles, poor bugger. He's in good spirits. Like, he's such a team first player. You see it on the field, and it's the same off the field, mate. He still puts a smile on his face.
He is who he is.
Yeah, exactly right. And I would just feel bad for Sam, his fiance, and baby Audrey. Just, it's never like we went through it with our kids, like having surgeries and stuff around that at that age and time is difficult. So it's more reaching out to all of them rather than just him. And again, he's put a smile on his face. He's still backing us boys, and yeah, it's a credit to Newey, the way he sort of presents himself. But I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Obviously, really difficult to replace someone like him who's been such a key cog in that defensive group under Aaron Hamill and Vossi. But as a defensive group, how do you look to try and fill the gap with him there?
I'm not too sure. It's the like business side of footy. It's like the harsh reality is and Vossi always talks about it's a next man up sort of mentality, and unfortunate for Newey that he might miss the whole year, but he gets another opportunity from maybe a young guy to step into it. And we've got Billy Wilson down there who's running off that half back in the VFL last year, and this pre-season we've still got Jeff training on with us, potential SSP. He could fill that spot. We've got Ollie still developing. So like, there's plenty of opportunities, and yeah, anyone can sort of take it. And it's sort of a blessing in disguise. Like, it's harsh reality of footy that Newey has an unfortunate injury, but we can potentially find a diamond in the rough.
Yeah. Have you officially welcomed Ollie?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just
yeah. Last year he was welcomed in with open arms.
Yeah. The welcoming group of the defenders, I'd say.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a diverse group with quiet sense of humour, and we go about our business in a different way to the forwards, that's for sure. But no, we're welcoming. Oh, I think so anyway.
Well, you were welcomed yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still there. And now Jack as well.
Yep.
Sausage.
Yep.
So another one. Like it's pretty exciting for us as a back group this year.
Well, we do love our preseason cliches here on Summer Session, so I'm just going to rattle off the classics for you, and just want to get your take. So, who's impressing you so far in preseason?
I'd say Matt Carroll.
Yep.
He's he battled some groin injuries last year, and we didn't really get to see what he could produce fully out there. And this preseason so far, he's really put his best foot forward.
Who's put on some size?
I'll give Hudson O'Keefe some props. He's definitely put on some size and big ruckman. Hopefully he can do some damage.
And who's looking lean?
Weeders. Yeah, Weeders love me saying that. Everyone calls him heavy at the start of pre-season, so he's looking really good.
Well, you mentioned the kind of the emerging halfback flankers before, and someone whose footy journey is just starting out is Harry Charlton.
Gary.
Harry Charlton.
Gary.
Now nicknamed Gary. Is this some of your finest work?
Yeah, it was a bit of a mistake.
What happened?
We stumbled across this one. Well, we've got so many Harrys. It's a bit like how we've been with Jacks in the past.
Yep.
So everyone remembers Jack Nunes. Obviously, kicked the goal after the sign against Freo, but his nickname was Jill because we had so many Jacks.
Yep.
So we've had so many Harrys, and then Harry O'Farrell got highlights mentioned in one of the pre-meetings, and then Harry Charlton came in, and I just yelled out Gary. Because I've just thought, well, we've got too many Harrys, so we might as well have a Gary.
And that can be make or break when you say something like that. You can get nothing.
Oh, yeah. Especially with our group. You can get absolute crickets, or boys can grab hold of it. And I think because he was sort of didn't like it.
He faked it up.
He's like, that's not going to work. And then all of a sudden, all the boys saw that, like, yeah, you're Gary from now on.
And it's him now.
Yeah, it's him. And even in meetings, like, it's so funny. Like, names on the board, like, boys, you're on this team. Like, Gary, you're on this team. And all the boys just start yelling Gary, like, in the middle of a training drill.
Well, I did hear, and I'm not sure if it's correct, but so Harry Dean came down to training last Friday.
Yeah.
Son of Peter Dean.
Yeah.
The great Peter Dean.
Yes.
What was he getting called?
Barry. Same thing. She's like, but we've got so many Harrys in the footy club, so...
Yeah, even the ones who aren't here yet.
Yeah,
saying,
exactly. The boys that aren't in yet, they go on by nicknames already. So Barry Deans.
Barry Dean,
and
Gary
look really
Charlton.
good, yeah. It's funny though, like you see the way they react to a name, and if they react poorly, then you
hold on to
it. Yeah.
Well, is it a bit, not to go too hard at the original Harry Mackay?
Yeah.
Is it a bit of an inferiority complex that everyone has to make adjustments to their nicknames because he's keeping his own one?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because he's still Harry or H.
Yeah.
But then you got Lem, Hoff,
yes.
and Gary.
Yeah.
And Barry.
Yeah, and Barry. Yeah, because you can't call Lemmy Harry.
Yeah.
Because
that's too confusing.
Yeah. And you can't call Harry Big H, as in Harry Lemmy Big H, because you've got Big H already.
So Mackay just kept it.
He's kept it all.
Yeah.
And which is fair enough, because he's an imposing figure. So.
You don't want to get on his bad side.
Exactly right.
How would he go to being called Larry or something? Would he?
Yeah, I don't know.
He wouldn't appreciate that?
No, he wouldn't appreciate it. We've got to start it, though. See how he reacts.
Well, you obviously, when you started out, I feel like it was obviously 10, 11, 12, H, yourself and TDK, and you had a bit of a rat pack forming in the locker room in your early year, with Nick Newman generally the one.
Yeah, he was a target.
Yeah.
Ours, yeah.
Did that go away? Is it still there? Have you just kind of gone your separate ways?
It's still there, but we're not as malicious, I would say, with our pranks that we're doing. So we filled. Obviously, Newey came into the club the same year as I did, and his nickname that came over was Onions.
Yeah. Did you give him that one? Or was that just a?
I don't know where that came from, and he hated it, so it
stayed.
And then so we started pranking him. We filled his whole locker full of onions in my first year. We did a few other.
Was that your best one?
Nah, beanbags with TDKs. That was our best. And like he was in rehab with Dan James, who's now with us again.
He's back. Yep.
And he's walked into his locker, opened it up, and beanbag beans have gone everywhere, all through the locker. And then Dan James is in there filming him with a vacuum cleaner on, cleaning it all up because we were all out of town for an away trip.
Did he sook up?
Nah, he took it very well.
Took it well.
Yeah.
That's good. Any other ones lined up, or have you because you're a dad now? Have you matured?
I've matured a little bit. I've handed the baton over to Cots.
Yeah, and Gary.
And Gary's taken it with great stride,
which is good,
which is amazing. Yeah.
Well, what would you say if you look back at 2019, Mitch McGovern? What were your main lessons in your time at Carlton since then? Because a fair bit's going on.
Yeah.
And this can be joking or this can be serious if you want.
Don't know. Mine would just be just get your body right.
Yeah. Well, you did come in, was it double ankle surgery?
Yeah,
and
double
then,
ankle.
Yeah.
And it took too long then with COVID. I just had so many little injuries because my body wasn't right. So that was the first thing. And I reckon the second thing is just keep enjoying the moment, keep having fun with it. Because footy's hard. And we take it for granted sometimes. And when you don't enjoy the little things and the little details and the locker room banter and stuff, it can get quite tedious and tough on you mentally. So keep enjoying it.
When we talk about main lessons, what about your development in the NFL fantasy stakes?
Yeah.
Because this time last year, you had peroxide blonde hair. Now I'll get to that in a moment, but you had peroxide blonde hair because you finished last.
That's correct.
How'd you go this year, Mitch?
I've gone from penthouse to shithouse to penthouse. I won it this year, which is it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
To be where I was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not to take away from your achievement, but the main focus is generally on who finishes last.
Yeah.
Because there's the very clear forfeit of peroxide blonde hair that comes with it.
There is.
I need you to confirm something for me.
Yeah.
Was not just Carlton, but was the football world robbed of an all-time moment this year?
Absolutely we were.
What could have happened, Mitch?
We could have had Jacob Wiedering with bleached peroxide hair, and it would have been something to see.
Would he have done it?
Oh, he would have, because he's a passionate man about his NFL fantasy.
Yeah.
He probably would have done it in the middle of the off-season where no one could see him.
Yeah.
But he definitely would have done it. And we'll
And so he was projected to lose. Is that correct?
Projected to lose, and even midway through the week, he was projected to lose. So all the
Did he go to ground?
Nah, he was good. He was,
okay.
He was, yeah.
And who was the person that has robbed us of this opportunity?
It's Jason Davenport, one of our former coaches.
Now at the Giants.
Now the Giants, yes. And it's a shame as well because Jason loves. He's a very fit human and individual and very good looking.
It'll probably work for him.
It does. The thing is, he's lost already, so he did it 2 years ago, so he's happy to go back to the bleach. So we were all rooting to Weeders to lose that one, but we've still got next year. We'll see how we go.
That would, again...
It's either him or Pito as well, out of that game to get into the Pooh Bowl, so...
I don't think it would have worked for Pito.
Nah, but
he would have done it.
But they're both the same people, so it would have been just as good.
True. I feel like Pito might have done it for round one.
He probably
just would have steered into it, but Weeders would have just gone the other way.
Yeah, I think so.
How much does Jacob Wiedering dislike when he gets compared to Mark Pitnet?
A lot. Especially when it's genuinely by mistake.
Yeah.
He hates it.
Especially the year we're obviously doing it for Doc and everyone had the shaved heads. They were the same person out there.
Yeah, out on the training track. And we actually had a meeting last week, I think it was, and there was a person behind the ball.
Yeah.
We thought it was Pito.
Yeah.
And Weeders is in the same meetings because we had the jersey inside out. You couldn't see their number. And he's just ran completely out of position defensively. And Weeders and I both looked at each other like, what is Pito doing? And then the clip played out and then the intercept mark was taken and it was Weeders. And he looked at me, he's like, oh.
That was me.
I actually thought I was Pito.
So he thought himself was Pito.
Yeah. I was like, that's bad. He's like, oh my. He's like, I need to do something. I need to do something different. I need to change my thoughts.
Well, is he... Cripper tried shedding this narrative last year about the grumpiness of Weeders. Is he still, or is he...
It's a facade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
a funny dude. He actually is. And I reckon he's a grumpy guy to media and external.
Keep him at arm's length.
Yeah, at arm's length. But internally, and his relationships he has here, he's an actually happy, jovial person. It's hard to believe, but he is. Yeah.
Well, there was an old podcast here at Carlton, I'm going to say 10, 15 years ago now, called Grumpy Old Defenders, and it was Michael Jamison and Zach Toohey. Are you a grumpy old defender? Have you kept the forward mindset a bit and you're a bit more jovial than the other types?
I'll definitely say I've kept the forwards mindset and energy, let's say.
Yep.
And even Weeders gets a bit angry at me and grumpy at me in game day when I'm telling him to smile and enjoy the moment. They've just kicked 3 goals on us or something. And I get the look. That's.
And then you realise to shut up.
But it's also I feel like I'm rubbing off a bit on him because he's
He's smiling more.
Yeah, he's enjoying it more. He's like, he enjoys a challenge. Like, yeah, it's a challenge, but I don't need to be internal, this grumpy, serious guy. I can actually like be a bit more energetic, bubbly, light. And I reckon it's helped his game big time. Well, I think so anyway.
You think so?
I'll claim it.
Well, there was a moment in time where I think you thought you might have returned to the forward line, if not temporarily.
Yeah.
Was that to help out the team, or was that just to play against Jeremy at the other end?
No, I wanted to play against my brother down the other end. Yeah, I'll put my hat in the ring. I said I'll do it. And Vossi looked at me. Kidding yourself.
Get back down there, mate.
Kidding yourself, mate. Kempy, get down there.
Kick four.
Yeah, kick four and dominate. So I'm glad Brody took that one. But no, I'm really happy playing down back. But we see those little snippets where you can drift forward at times as a defender, and you always make the most of them. So.
Yeah. What was it like playing against the brother after so long without playing against him? Because obviously the Harry and Ben one dominated discussion, but this one took a while as well.
Yeah, I think it was 6 years.
Yeah, and not since you came here.
No, it's not since I've been at Carlton that we've both either side had an injury or other things going on. So, no, it was cool. Very glad we got the win. And it was probably one of the best wins I've been a part of with the footy club, as in next man up mentality and what we were sort of going through injuries wise and things like that. So, and I don't think there's going to be too many left of us two playing against each other. So, my wife and I were actually talking about it. We're going to play West Coast twice this year.
Yeah.
And maybe even an old jersey swap.
Yeah,
the
nice.
last one will be pretty special. So, I don't know if we might have to wear a shirt underneath or something when we do that. We're both known for our high skin folds, so we don't want to cop that scrutiny.
Well, it does. Also, like on that, it does seem like you've got some serious pull, because not only is it like twice against West Coast, one of them's in gather round.
Yeah.
Given your history in South Australia, it's like you tailor-made that fixture for you.
I don't know how it's worked out. It's like, I am so happy. Like, personally, like, it's awesome because you get to see friends and family probably 3 times more than what you normally would during the year. But yeah, to be in Adelaide 3 times or whatever it is, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And then Perth at least
Twice, and then obviously West Coast having twice as well. Yeah.
So
it's a good year for the McGoverns.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and like, it could be my brother's last year as well, so it makes it even more special. So just need to get the wins against them all.
Oh, so that's your brother.
Yeah.
What about your Aki?
Marky. Yeah, Sardi.
Can you explain how this word has taken over downstairs? For those who don't know, brother translates directly to Aki, I'm pretty sure,
Aki,
and it's taken over.
It has taken over. So this is just my poor knowledge of language. Is it Lebanese?
Yeah.
It is Lebanese?
Yeah. Or is it Arabic? I'm not sure.
Arabic?
I'm not sure.
It's Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Arabic.
I think, I'm not sure, but I'm going to run with that.
I think it's Arabic. So
Yeah.
Saadi said that like the word brother translation into Arabic is akhi.
Yeah.
And so whenever we're trying to get Weeders smiling and laughing in pre-game, Saadi tries to break us down with akhi, so brother on 3. And he's like, brother on 3. 3, 2, 1. Akhi.
That's the wrong way, Saadi.
Like, Saadi. And he's like, what? And you look at Weeders actually cracks a smile. Yeah, there we go, we're on.
And then he resets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's back to frowning.
But it's not just a Saadi. Like, it just feels like it's everyone kind of uses it now.
It drifts through from everyone now. Yeah, it was just, there was a few of us, Saadi, Boydie and I really started, and then now it's everyone.
Yeah.
And Saadi tries to teach us a few other words to go along with it.
Probably can't use them on here?
Yeah, probably not safe for a podcast. But no, it's good. It's just like, it creates that connection with Saadi as well. And again, like that sort of happy side mentality out in the footy field. If you know that Saadi's having a tough time, like give him akhi or another word, and it sort of takes his mind off what's going on and lifts him back up.
And it does feel like he just loves it whenever he hears it. So that's always a good thing.
He absolutely loves it. So it's good. And the boys love saying it as well. Yeah.
Just for you to finish off, you're still a footy card man?
Yeah, closet footy card man.
Hopefully Kirsten's not watching this.
Yeah, hopefully Kirsten doesn't watch this. I said to you off the record that I've spent a fair bit of money on footy cards, and Kirsten hates it, so...
reined it in.
Yeah, reined it in.
Yeah.
I could say that.
Yep. I'm trying to put words into your mouth, but if you want to backtrack on that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And just finally, we ask all of our guests the same question. So, again, I feel like you touched on it and you've mentioned the family angle before, but Gov, why do you play footy?
Yeah, it's for the family. Yeah, it's It's not necessarily for the name or like a legacy like that. It's more just the pride. My dad played footy for Freo in Sydney, and I was a bit too young to sort of really remember everything. But you look back on childhood photos with dad, pre-game, post-game, and it just makes you smile. And you're like, as a son of obviously what dad's been through and footy-wise, and I'm proud of like that sort of aspect of his life and what he achieved in that time frames and what he did, and sort of to have that from my family and that opportunity and to be in the position I am and share it with them, and hopefully look back on some photos and videos down the tracks. Yeah, it was why I do it.
Love it, mate. That's a good answer. It's a good way to finish off your Summer Sessions debut.
Thanks, mate.
Took you a while to get here,
Yeah,
but
it took me a while. We got there.
Happy you did it?
Yeah, I'm glad I did it. Yeah.
Love it, mate.
Thanks for the invite on, mate.
Thanks, Aki.
Thanks, Aki.
Appreciate it, mate.